Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and tidy up your desk before you go live on the internet to talk about some football. We are here to discuss the Championship round 19. The Wednesday night games we'll have a look at. We had a look at the Tuesday night games in this slot yesterday. Another 6 last night. So plenty more news, plenty more goals. And by God, we have nearly got to the Christmas week off. And these poor players playing every 3 days can actually have a week off. And hopefully no more of them can get injured. Let me know that you can see me and hear me loudly and clearly. I know we had a few issues yesterday, but we got through them, didn't we? God damn it. We get through in the end. Before we go any further into the show, as ever, I will give my shout out to Russ, our fan sponsor. Russ Peak, a fan and now a friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. Russ sponsors all of our Championship review shows here on the channel, of which there are many because we've been splitting these midweek ones in half. Nearly up to 13,500 subscribers on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button if you're here for the first time. You can support the channel. You can support me right now via Super Chat. Lots of new good stuff going up on Patreon as well. When I do these live streams, immediately now after I finish them, I do a 5-minute version of them that goes straight to Patreon. So if you can't hack me rambling for 60 minutes, then go and watch the 5-minute version. But you have to subscribe on Patreon, and you can buy some merchandise at the Teespring store there. Just bang in the discount code live and we'll give you 10% off everything over there. Let's have a look in the chats. Lewis is here. Dan is here. Sly is here. James is here. Mr. E, Noah, Martin, John. John's done with work until January 2021. A great day. Mel is here. Paul, love the trousers. There we go. A. Anderson is here. Cool is here. And Jay, the Bevo man, who's often here, is here again. We thank each and every one of you guys. Eli's here as well. Didn't want to miss him out at the end. Right, I'm going away from the comments now, going into the split screen. And we are going to tell you about our 6 games last night, and we are going to discuss them. It was on the watch along. Thank you, everybody who joined me. Derby 2, Swansea 0 in the 5:30. Then we had, I think there was 2 7 o'clocks, weren't there? So Cardiff 3, Birmingham 2, Borough 1, Luton 0 in the other 7 o'clock. And then the 3 7:45s, Blackburn 2, Rotherham 1, Coventry 0-0. One of them was an 8 o'clock as well, because the Sky game was Reading 1, Norwich 2. And that, my friends, is where we will begin, because we need to begin as ever at the top of the table. And for a few weeks now, and maybe quite a few weeks more, that means Norwich City, doesn't it? So get your comments in on Reading 1, Norwich 2. I think we're done with the injury crisis narrative on Norwich. There, I think that's only McGovern now, really. Obviously, they could do with the left back being in, but plenty of strength around the pitch now for us to not talk about injuries at Norwich, and their excellent squad has coped with it admirably. Well, couldn't be better. Top of the league. So McGovern in goal. Aarons, Zimmerman and Hanley. They're without Gibson, aren't they? Sørensen at left back. We may see Quintia sometime between now and the end of time. Skip, who's played every game. That's vital. McLean partners him in central midfield. Martin, Stiepermann starts at number 10. And as I've said about Norwich injuries the whole time through, injure 10 players that aren't Buendia and Pukki, or injure Buendia and Pukki and no other players. I think every Norwich fan would take the 10 players and they get to keep Buendia and Pukki in, because an injury crisis is not an injury crisis at Norwich if Buendia and Pukki are playing, because those two are so good that, well, I'd love to see someone do the stats on in the Championship games those two have started together and where one or other or both of them has been missing, because I bet there will be a chasm in the points per game. And we talk about squad strength. because you have the equivalent of Buendia and Pukki, which is Zhao and Maite, injured at Reading. And look what happens when you don't quite have that squad strength. Obviously, still able to put Ejaria, Elise, Aluko in, but no striker at all there. Semedo plays up top. Laurent and Rinomota is double pivot as ever. Gibson starts at left back there, so no Richards either for Reading. Moore, Morrison, Holmes, and Raphael. Get your comments in on this one. We have some pictures. And Andy Rinomota, hang your head in shame. Number 8 there, Rinomota, gives the ball away. A, don't give the ball away. B, don't give it away against Norwich. C, if you're going to give it away against Norwich, don't give it to Emi Buendia, for goodness sake, who sweeps that up. And then he's in great form, Buendia, isn't he? Left-footed into the corner. I get asked this a lot, who's the best player in the league? Hang on. And I just think, forget potential or whatever, which player you could take in the Premier League and put them straight into a team and they could play at a very high level, you know, maybe top half of the Premier League straight away or European League. Buendia is probably the guy, isn't he? He's in great form. He scores again. Here is the equaliser. And we talked about Norwich getting some deflected goals, haven't we? Here's one against them. So Ejaria hits that. Can you see Elise? He's already trying to jump out the way. He doesn't get out the way, but fortunately for Reading and Elise and Ejaria, the ball hits Elise and flies into the corner. Here's a penalty shout that you're all going to want to talk about. That is Max Aarons. Sorry, let me just take the banner away from the bottom because that's obscuring it slightly. There we go. You can see that there. That is Max Aarons and Liam Moore in the box there. Aarons has come in from the right-hand side. Moore has dived in. Aarons has sidestepped Moore and then gone down. And all I could think of when I saw this, other than seeing Michael Morrison literally clenching his fists, trying not to lose his temper, is that clip in the Amazon Tottenham Hotspur documentary where Jose Mourinho is saying, look, you have to be absolute bastards, basically. And that's all I could think of because we go for our normal run of questions here. Is it good play by Aarons? Yes. Is it silly by Moore? Yes. Is there contact? Maybe the tiniest little bit. Does Aarons exploit that to its absolute fullest by throwing it down? Yes. And when Jose Mourinho says you have to be a bastard to win, Max Aarons was a bit of a bastard here, wasn't he? Excuse my language today. They're in quote marks, all those swears. But this Norwich club, basically, when they're in the Championship, they just know how to win. And not that you, if you're a football fan, you want to see games won or lost on a player managing to just exploit a mistake and get themselves a penalty into the bargaining. But they're the ones that win the trophies. There's Germans and Argentinians in that Norwich dressing room, isn't there? So they just know how to win, and it's galling if you're a Reading fan. It's silly from Liam Moore. He shouldn't dive in, but Aarons does what players that win titles and trophies do, and he takes advantage of the situation, let's just say, and gets the penalty. Of course, Teemu Pukki bowls up and sticks that in. 10 goals in 15 starts for Pukki now. Not quite in the Armstrong or Tony bracket, but you know he's going to get a hatful if he stays fit for the season. And you know Norwich are going to be in the top 2 if Pukki and Buendia stay fit and in form for the season. Don't you? Let's have a look at the numbers. So, look, I mean, despite any talk of a little bit of, what should we call it? Gamesmanship, clever gamesmanship to win the penalty. Norwich look pretty good value for it. They win tight games in the Championship, don't they? 11 shots to 7, 5 corners to 4, 1 big chance to 0, hit the post as well. That was a deflection as well from Kieran Dowell. And I mean, look on the bench now, Hugill, Dowell, Vrancic, Tetty, Cantwell. Boom. Injury crisis. There we go. Let's have a look at the table. Then we get to your comments. Great job by Norwich. 3 points clear at the top. Well exceeding the 2 points per game now. 2 points ahead of 2 points per game. In fact, 4 wins on the bounce. And since he managed to get, I keep saying it, it's so obvious though. Since he managed to get Buendia into the team, they've just been winning ever since. I mean, you do them out. I know it's not that straightforward. They're a good side, but I think if there's one player in the league that positively influences his team, it's Buendia at Norwich, isn't it? They just again, someone do the numbers. I'd love to see the points per game with and without him and or Pukki. Reading a little bit, excuse me, spotty. Past 4 games, win-loss. But I suppose you just say no Zhao, no Maite, no Richards. They didn't save all their Premier League TV money and don't have a parachute payment. They don't have a squad like Norwich or Bournemouth or Watford or even Stoke. So when they get 3 injuries, it has quite the effect, doesn't it? Right, let's have a look at your comments here. Don't think Norwich will relinquish top spot now. There's a chance they might just go through now, mightn't they? Can you add the top goal scorer? Yeah, we do on the always do on the Sunday one. Excuse me, Carl. I'll do it at the end today, my friend. Being able to bring Cantwell and Dowell on at half-time, yeah, showed the strength in depth. There you go. Can't keep Pukki down. Pukki, 51 goals in 101 appearances. What a great signing he has been. Them type of pens, if it goes for you, happy days. Exactly. Goes against you, you're fuming. Yes, you are indeed. Something really needs to be done regards to the parachute teams due to the COVID gap between them and the rest of us. It's only going to be wider and soon it'll all be the same. Some of us, John, have been saying that for many, many years. Put it that way. I get told to shut up about it, but I agree. Put it this way, would have been annoyed, says Sophie, if that pen had been awarded against Norwich. One of those, isn't it? Yeah, totally. Mr. E says, Norwich deserved the win. I'd like to have a go with one of Yao or Maite. Can't see us scoring many until they are back. Not good. Not good. Reading's goal came off the player's arm, I believe. So did it? I didn't notice that. I saw him jump up like that. I didn't wind that one back. 4-2-1 wins on the trot. Not great for the heart rate. I know, James, but again, this Norwich team just does the business, doesn't it? Buendia scored 1 goal last season. Yeah, we're talking about a team that finished bottom of the Premier League and didn't sign any players, Lewis. And he didn't have the most key passes, and you know he's one of the best creative players. I don't think judging him on the single factor analysis of scoring 1 goal in the Premier League in a team that stunk it out when he still was so creative is the one, really, is it? But there we go. Where are we going? Aarons and Buendia fantastic on the right, but we're exposed on the left. And it's Cantwell coming half-time. How much do you think Buendia is worth, roughly? Well, Norwich are good at holding out for fees. I mean, Maddison was 25 million, wasn't he? Ake was 44 million out of the Championship. That's a centre-half and an English player. Ake's English, isn't he? Pass on that one. But I don't know, around that much. Buendia has a 2.36 points per game record in the Championship. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, created 92 chances that season for the team that finished bottom of the league. Brilliant player. Absolutely brilliant player. And genuinely, even if Norwich were like 6 points clear, yeah, sorry, Ake is Dutch. Yeah, thank you, guys. Sorry. I got that one wrong. Genuinely, if Norwich were like 7 points clear in January but sold Buendia, you'd bet against them being promoted, wouldn't you? Because he's fantastic, isn't he? Right, let's move on. And where are we going to next, guys? We are going to Swansea. And Swansea lost 2-0 to Derby. on the watch along. Last night, great performance, particularly in the first half by Derby, who was superb. Really chalk and cheese from what we've seen from them for most of the season. And Swansea caught off guard by a team who were, I think, way better than they expected them to be, weren't they? Marshall in goal, Byrne, Wisdom, Clark, Buchanan, Shinnie, Bielik, Knight, Waghorn, Kazim Richards, and Josviak. For Swansea, the normal formation, but they had to ditch it at half-time because they were so far out of the game. Woodman, Norton, Bennett, Guay, Bidwell and Roberts, the wing-backs who we've really liked this season. Grimes, Fulton, Smith, Lowe and Ayew up top. Here is the opening goal for Derby after just 3 minutes, really settled their nerves. Set play, they got Buchanan one-on-one on his own. Across it comes and Kazim Richards knocks it in. And second goal, really nice one actually. Down the right, I think it was Knight. Waghorn lays it off. Great first touch by Josviak. Look at Ryan Bennett behind him with his arms out wide. He's been done, hasn't he? And Josviak slaps that one in the left foot. Derby hit the post and hit the bar in the first half. I cannot tell you how surprised I was by their first half performance. Brilliant stuff by Derby. Swansea completely changed the shape, made some substitutions. Cooper had to chase it, and there wasn't anything there, really. Derby managed to see it out, and I believe get their fourth consecutive clean sheet. So get your comments in on brilliant performance, particularly in the first half by Derby County. The numbers all bear it out, as you can imagine. Let's have a look at what that does to both sides in the table. Derby move on to 16 points, which is not great, but considering where they came from, and I mean, look at their form, even just do a little bit of colour analysis on the bottom of the table there. Their form and Coventry's form in that bottom sort of definitely 8 or 9, or maybe 7 or 8, maybe I'm stretching a point here, is sustainably good enough that they're going to be out of trouble soon enough. And if they keep playing like that, they most definitely will be. Let's have a little look here. Ginger Ninja says, keep your bias at the door, Ben. This is so biased. What are you talking about, Ginger Ninja? Explain to me. That was a rough watch for Swansea fans. I think Connor Roberts had 3, and Connor Roberts, Jamen, has been one of the best players there for Swansea, hasn't he? I was expecting us to lose on Saturday to these, but with Derby getting the win, gives me a little bit more confidence. Martin says, I didn't sleep much after that Derby win. Such a buzz. Rare performance, wasn't it? Yeah. Surprised with this, but pleased for Rooney. Like to see him succeed as a manager. Doing the business so far. Joe says, as a Cov fan, that win for Derby makes the fight for the final relegation spot to be a lot. That's a good point, actually. We have said that, Joe, for a while, haven't we? That if you do get any of these 3 big clubs down the bottom, Sheffield Wednesday not looking that likely at the moment, but them, Forest and Derby actually play anywhere near where they should be, it's going to make it very, very tricky for those 3 promoted teams, however well Coventry are doing at the moment. Brilliant performance since Rooney came in. We've played 3 out of the top 8, matched them all. Not much of a gap between us and the top 8 in quality. We'll pull away, got all the teams in the bottom in the next 5. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Excellent. Ginger Ninja says Tin Pot League, which means for the first time today, everybody, it's the fake news sin bin. So all wave goodbye to Ginger Ninja. There he goes. Blocked for the next 5 minutes. Let's see if he's back. But the fake news sin bin, everybody, being used for the first time today. Always popular on the channel. Tough games for Swansea. Derby have the potential to beat the bigger sides. Can't see them go down. I think I agree with that. What surprised me was how tactically adept Rooney was. Completely nullified our fullbacks. Remember, Steve McLaren might have had something to do with that as well. But let's give Rooney credit. Anyway, this game will have given Derby some much needed hope. I can't see them going up the table gradually now. Kieran, sorry if I've got your name butchered that. As a Swansea fan, I was nervous every time Derby came forward. Rooney did well technically. Well done, Derby. Derby growing in confidence. Got to get away from the bottom six. Yeah, we got it. Lovely. Russ is here. Excellent, our sponsor. We have missed you, indeed, Russ. But your name has been on there every week with the sponsorship. Derby Rotherham, massive game on Saturday. Yes, and going back to that narrative of a couple of big clubs switching places with a couple of clubs that were promoted from League One last year. So there we go. The fake news bin strikes again. Get in the bin. He's gone. He'll be back. Don't worry. A true troll returns, don't they? They never go away. Don't get the message. Christian Bielik, what a player. Yes. Now we need to talk about Bielik, don't we? Who I would love to see them. I know he was brilliant in midfield, but can you imagine him as a centre half where he didn't have to be used in midfield, just striding out with that classy, elegant style? Actually, Russ and I saw him play at Wembley for Charlton, and he did that. He moved from centre half to midfield and back during the game. Classy player, that guy. You'd love to see him get a go at centre half, and that would be hard to defend against, and then overloading the midfield coming out from the back. Beckenbauer style, let's say. Right. One more. William says, not getting too excited as a Derby fan. Next game, guaranteed. Oh, come on, William. Enjoy it. You've been so bad this season. Enjoy a great performance, mate. Right. Moving on. One more quick from Jay. Bielik has definitely improved. We had him on loan. It was hopeless. There we go. He was signed as a natural centre half at Arsenal, I believe. Yeah, wasn't he? Yeah, I know him, Shinnie and Knight work well. I think you're missing my point slightly, Lewis. But the optimum for that player is centre half and joining in if you can get someone. Obviously, at the moment, nobody can do the centre midfield as good as he can. So he's gonna be in there. But maybe Max Bird can long term. So we will see about that. Right, where are we going next, guys? We are going to Neil Warnock's Middlesbrough, who beat Luton 1-0 to move into 7th place. Third win in 5. So Borough just writing a little bit of a sticky run. They'd been so hard to beat, hadn't they? And then went on a bit of a bad run. And if anybody can survive having a guy sent off and then a penalty and still stay 1-0 up, it's Warnock. But slightly fortuitously, methinks here. Bettinelli in goal for Borough. Jake Steele, Fry, McNair, Boller. How he's got a defence that good out of this bunch that he's picked up is beyond me. Morsey and Saville. Johnson, who's having a very good season, Marvin Johnson. He's going to get his 3rd assist, and he's got 3 goals as well in this game. Watmore, Tavernier and Akpom, who Warnock could do with a few more goals from up top. Luton, Shea, Pearson, Lockyer, Bradley, Potts, Dewsbury Hall and Ray. Cornick and Panzu. Norrington Davis, did he really play front left? And James Collins up the top. Let's have a look at what happened. Get your comments in on this one. And here is the opening goal. Sorry, a bit blurry, that one. You can see Johnson has gone down. Johnson, for anyone who watched Peep Show, has gone down the left, got that across nicely, and Akpom just taps it in. But again, it's another Borough goal under Warnock. Nice quick passing, ball across quickly and slid in from close range. Nice goal. They're playing some decent stuff, aren't they? Here is James Collins hitting a shot that looks to be going in the corner. I don't know if Bettinelli's getting it. Sam Morsey kind of falls over. His arm is in the way of the ball, which is heading toward the goal. And he's red carded for handball. And obviously the denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity in that respect. Now, remember the handball laws have been tweaked and then kind of softened during the season. So at the start of the season, this was definitely a penalty because it said in the laws, they put an addendum in that said, if the ball's going in a goal, it doesn't matter whether it's deliberate or not. It's going to be given handball. And ergo, it's an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. So it would be a red card. But then they had those ridiculous ones in the Premier League where I can't remember, the Spurs player got the ball headed against his arm from about an inch away and they gave the penalty. Then they kind of softened it. I feel a bit sorry for Morsey, but I personally do see where they're coming from with the rule of definitely if it's going in the goal, because what happens if you don't send him off and the penalty gets missed? Spoiler alert, you're essentially chalking off a goal for an outfield player's arm, and then there's no actual punishment. You can argue that the penalty's the punishment, but obviously that can be missed. So it's not it's an intangible punishment, if you know what I mean. So I'm okay with that as a red card, but I do feel sorry for Sam Morsey, who literally just fell over and his arm's in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, speaking of falling over, James Collins doesn't fall over, but look, he's got his technique all wrong. He plants his left foot down, and it looks like his left foot then slips. He hits it with his right foot, and in an incredibly similar thing to, it was Tavernier, wasn't it, who did exactly the same thing in this stadium up the other end in the game between Middlesbrough and Norwich. And so all the Middlesbrough players were wise to this. He kicks it right foot onto left foot and then actually manages to hit it fully with his right foot afterwards as well. And Bettinelli literally jumped out of his shorts virtually to go and protest that with the ref. So Borough do get away with it. Collins touches the penalty twice. So it's a free kick to Borough there. And Borough go on with the 10 men and get the win. I think we got there, didn't we? What do the numbers say? The numbers say this was classic Warnock. Remember, we have to account for 35 minutes of 10 versus 11 in those numbers. But Luton will definitely feel they should have got something. However, 2 big chances apiece. We know what happened. Borough got themselves in front and then managed to survive after that incident. And they've got the right manager to do that. They move up to 7th. It's really good performance for 30 points there from the first 19 from Warnock. Luton just drop into 13th. They've been just in and around that exact halfway sort of segment of the table, haven't they? And doing really well, Luton, but yeah, wasn't to be for them last night. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the comment. Amazing. He's scared to debate me. Go ahead then, Ginger Ninja. Go on. I'll leave you in here. Debate me. Go on. Because all at the moment, all you're saying is I am biased, apparently. Not sure about what. So there's not really a lot to debate, is there? My comeback to that is explain why I'm biased. Go ahead then. Let's see how smart you are, kiddo. You might be in over your head a bit here. Go on. You can write biased as many times as you like, buddy. Why? What is biased about what I am doing here? Go on. I really think you're in over your head, though, bud. I'd quit while you're ahead. Let's have a look. Luton's penalty was a weird one, hitting both feet. Absolutely. Classic Warnock wing. McNair has been one of the most underrated players. Excellent season for McNair. I'm guessing schools are closed for Christmas. Yeah, I know. I have a feeling there's something in the guidelines about when a player falls over. Yes. Oh, no, there is, because we had it in the Norwich game. Right. I know what it is, Mr. E. It's they're allowed to have their arm between themselves and the ground, i.e. to stop themselves falling. So that wouldn't be the case with Morsey, whose arm's out. So yeah, there is no. You're definitely right. What else have we got here? Yeah, we'll see if the Ginger Ninja comes back with his ace debating skills. Warnock is the best manager in this division, in my opinion. Clearly a Scunthorpe fan. Focus on real football in the Barclays and the Champions League. Right, Ginger Ninja. So you wanted to debate me. You've called me biased, and I'm asking you now for the 3rd time. Let's see if this goes in, buddy. I'm going to say it very slowly. Explain to me in as few words as possible what I've said that's biased and why. do you understand what I'm asking you? Yes? You can debate me if you want. I think we all know you're probably going to lose, though. And there are plenty of people in here that are smarter than me as well. Do you understand what I am saying? Have another go before I block you permanently. Okay? Cool. I think we've got it, guys. Right. Let's move on to the next game and stop with this buffoonery. I'm all up for a real debate, but come on. Challenge me. Challenge me. It's going to be a squash match, as they would say in wrestling. No one wants to see that, do they? No one wants to see anyone get their backside handed to them, especially not by me. Hey, that wouldn't be fun, would it? Right, where are we going next, guys? We are going to Cardiff versus Birmingham. Cardiff 3, Birmingham 2. Quite the game, this one. And let's be honest, I think half of the predictions for this one had it at 0-0. Harris versus Karanka. There are your teams here. Smithies in goal. Bakuna, Morrison, Nelson, Bennett, Pack and Volks. Ojo, Wilson in the number 10 position this time. White gets a start. I remember Kiefer Moore got injured in the game against Swansea. So Glatzel is the go-to guy up top now. Needs to get the goals. He's going to get one, but he's going to miss a penalty in this game as well. Etheridge in goal for Birmingham. Colin, Roberts, Dean. Clark Salter plays left back. We'll talk about him in a minute. Kieftenbeld and Sunjic. Sanchez, Terrell at 10. Remember, we had that great performance against Reading. Leko down the left. Jutkovic comes back in up top. Bit of rotation from Karanka. And I have to say, look at the Birmingham bench there. Look, Bella, Clayton, Gardner, Halilovic, McGree's been used, Cogley's been used. Starting to look a bit more strength there for Birmingham. Right. Where are we going for my pictures here? God, there's loads of them for this game. Right, there is the opening goal for Rob Glatzel. Harry Wilson has dribbled that one in, takes it left, slides it right, and Glatzel puts it in with the right foot. Here's the equaliser. I don't know where this came from. Long ball into Jutkovic, bounces off. There's Roberts, the bruiser of a centre-half, who's going to finish that right-footed across Smithies and into the far corner. Great finish. Now, goal of the day here, probably. I don't think there's much argument. Here is Ivan Sanchez, miles away from goal. Here is Ivan Sanchez, surrounded by 4 Cardiff shirts. Am I allowed to say Lionel Messi here? He goes in and out, moves left, gets to the edge of the box, fires that between, is that Nelson and Morrison? Left-footed into the top corner. What a goal by Sanchez. He's not going to get any points either. But brilliant goal. Tip of the hat for Sanchez for that one. Here is another handball call. That is, that's Clark Salter and Nelson with the header. And we're in unnatural body position again. So the header goes and his arm's like that, Clark Salter. So I'm probably okay with that penalty. The only mitigating factor is how close. There is, in the handball wording, there is lines that say, depending on how close it comes to you off either yourself or off another player, even a teammate. So it's a header on goal and his arm's up like that. Penalty, I think, but you tell me what you think in the comments. However, there is Neil Etheridge. It doesn't look like it's that far in the corner, but Glatzel hits that pretty hard. But yeah, you can see there's a good foot or two wider he could have put it. And Etheridge, good save against his former club, of course. Here comes the equaliser. Birmingham obviously defending very narrow and very deep because that's Jeremy Bella, the winger, who gets taken out by a really good pass by Marlon Pack. And Wilson comes in behind him and sticks that one home at the near post. And there is the winning goal. And he just does it over and over again. Sean Morrison, 3 yards out, heads that one in. And I have to say, I watched this back a couple of times researching this video. Harley Dean there's already a man on. Is it Jutkovic? I think. Let me just double check. No, it's Glatzel. Sorry, wrong team. There's already a man. I think it's Roberts on Glatzel, and Dean just gets suckered in, and there's two of them. Just leave Sean Morrison, who we've said repeatedly on here is just one of the best set play guys for scoring headers in the division, and he does it again. And Cardiff come back and get the victory. What do the numbers say? They say 15 shots to 13 actually in Birmingham's favour. Look at that, 5 big chances to 0 in Cardiff's favour. So bit of a weird one. A couple of outlier goals, I think, from Birmingham, say the numbers. But the big chances all fall into Cardiff. In this one, get your comments in. 4 wins in 5 for Cardiff. It's actually 5 wins in 6, isn't it? Because they've won 4 on the trot. That's all that's showing me on the screen. Up there, up to 10th, functioning in that second quartile of the table. Now need to keep this up and push on if they want to get playoffs. Birmingham, back-to-back wins, back-to-back defeats. Competitive, squad improving, but need to add some more points. Right, dare I open up the comments? What buffoonery am I going to find in here? Wow, this may be the worst argument I've ever heard in my life. Personally think you are biased. Have a day off, bake a cake, enjoy life, bro. Ginger Ninja, I love my life. I'm not the one trying to get a dopamine rush and find meaning by trying to irritate other people. So one more time, okay? I said it really slowly last time. You can't say when someone asks you, what do you mean by that? Just add the word personally before it. That's not an explanation, yeah? That's like me saying 2 + 2 is 5, and you say, well, that doesn't work. And I say, well, personally, it's 5. It's not a good argument. It's a very bad argument. You said I was scared to debate you, but that's one of the worst bits of debating I've ever seen in my life, Ginger Ninja. So I'm going to ask you one more time, right? Personally think you are biased. So you've added I'm biased to you personally think I'm biased because obviously it's not somebody else that operates your own brain in your mouth and your fingers at the moment, but it's you. So you personally think I'm biased. Great. It's you saying what you're typing. Wonderful. Thank you for the clarification. Why? Why do you think I'm biased? Deary me. He wanted to debate me, guys, and he's not got past the first question yet, has he? What a buffoon. Deary me. Right. Anyway, sorry, he's getting far too much attention, isn't he? We'd like to see us play a 4-2-3-1 at home, says John on Birmingham. Right, who's going in the fake news sin bin? MJWS. Say goodbye, everybody, to MJWS, who goes in the fake news sin bin. The second time we've used it today. Still can't believe Cardiff got Wilson on loan. Definitely Premier League quality. Yeah, Liverpool with Elliott and Wilson could have some say in the playoffs this season. Cardiff, such a hard one to predict. Who knows where they'll end up in the table. Yes, I didn't mention, John, for the first goal, Clark Salter gave the ball away, didn't he, to Wilson as well. Charlie, the reason you're biased is because your buttons aren't done all the way up on your shirt and enjoyed taking hot baths like a single-aged mother. Oh, okay. That's fake news, Charlie. So you're going in the fake news timeout. Couldn't accept being biased. Wow. So I'm going to ask you again, Ginger Ninja. Explain. So, for example, if I was going to accuse somebody of bias, I would pick something that they'd said, yeah, that I disagreed with. Then I'd give my opinion and try and prove their bias, okay? You're just repeating yourself now. Last chance, Kieran says, even as a Norwich fan, I love your content. Keep it up. It's not fun. Debating's fun when the other person's smart and, you know, you can get going. And then hopefully you can learn something, can't you? You know, you learn something if you have a good debate and the other person proves you wrong. You get smarter. I'd love him to prove me wrong. I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going to, really. So, What tier is the sin bin in? That's tier number 4. So it's getting full. Ben, you look good, mate. How are you? I'm good, Paul. Thank you. Lee, do you think he knows who Christopher Hitchens is? I'm not sure. The debate is lost once you throw insults. I don't think he's insulted me yet, Norwich City FC fan club. Just struggling a little bit, isn't he? But there we go. We'll give him another chance. Maybe he'll learn something today. Right. Who are we going to next? Blackburn 2, Rotherham 1. And Blackburn are going to win this one in the 98th minute of 7 minutes minimum stoppage time. Let's scroll this one. There is the Blackburn team there. Kaminsky, Nyambe, Lenihan, Ayala, Douglas, Rothwell and Johnson and Buckley, Elliott and Armstrong, the danger men, and they're both going to be on the score sheet in this one. Gallagher up top with them. For Rotherham, Johansson in goal, Ihekwa, Wood, McDonald. Still no fit left wing back there, so Wiles in on a Sunday. Barlassa, Lindsay and Crooks, Smith and Vassell up top. And Rotherham are going to be kicking themselves after this one. Let's have a look at some of the action. Look at that for an assist. That is a volley back heel by Matt Crooks, and it's going all the way through to Michael Smith, who's going to stick it home for 1-0. And look, another chance there for Crooks to make it 2-0. Can he curve that around Kaminsky to his left into the far corner? No. He puts it wide. Here's the wonder kid, Harvey Elliott, this time being set up by Adam Armstrong, not vice versa. Spins, hits it in left-footed. Definitely the new Brewster this season, isn't he? There is another chance. Ladapo on the near post. Kaminsky's not getting that. Heads it down and it goes just wide. And then 7 minutes of stoppage time. Billy Jones booked for time wasting in this 7 minutes. So maybe that's where the other minute gets added on. Just humped into the box, frankly. Goes loose. Adam Armstrong sticks it home. God, for what must be his 14th or 15th of the season, I would have thought. And Rotherham go under to a late goal. Again, that must be the 3rd or 4th time this season that has occurred. 3 big chances to 2 for Blackburn. So it was a tight game. A tight game. Sorry, let me have a drink of my coffee. 11 shots to 10. Okay, 67-33 on the possession. But Rotherham will be infuriated with that one. They have also been caught now by Derby. So that game at the weekend really is massive. Blackburn still a little bit hard to figure out where they're going. Are they going to push up for the playoffs and have a good run? Are they going to end up somewhere in the middle? Can Elliott and Armstrong carry the team? We'll see where they end up. Get your comments in on that one. Right. So I'm now going to block you, Ginger. I lost. Amazing. He said I was biased. I said why. He didn't answer. So I've lost. So I apologize for this idiot. Now I've blocked him. There we go. And he's gone. I'm very sorry we wasted our time. And I thought we might get a good debate, but we didn't. Where are we going here? Iain, I'm beyond angry. I bet you are. Madnesses continue to make the same mistakes. Our game management is pathetic. Do I think Rotherham will stay up? It's going to be hard. They're going to rely on at least one team having a bit of a car crash in the second half of the season and a really good run, aren't they? Play my guitar all morning, but the skin on my fingers has gone all horrible. Watching the Bloom instead. We love it. Huge result for Derby. Rotherham could be in the bottom 3 come 5 p.m. Yes, indeed they could. I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing tonight with regard one of these games. I may well do one of them. I'll see what the missus says. Elliot's better than Minamino. I don't know anything about Minamino, so I will take your word for it. Since the 5 subs came in, Warney's like a kid in a sweet shop. Overdoing it? Yeah, not good. JL says, I watched Rotherham, felt their time wasted a bit, but some of the substitutions were baffling. Right, last one, guys. And it is a 0-0 draw. So we can do it fairly quickly. Huddersfield versus Coventry. I suspect both teams will be happy enough with that. Coventry keeping the unbeaten work going. Huddersfield going away and taking a point. Both sides with a clean sheet. Get your comments in on this one. Actually, I say that about Huddersfield, but 3 big chances, and I've got a picture of one of them, which is quite the miss by Isaac and Benza. Wilson in goal for Cov. Ostergaard, McFadzean, Hyam, Darbo and McCallum are the wing-back. Sheaf, Hamer, Allen and O'Hare playing off of Walker. Schofield in goal for Huddersfield. Pipper and Toffolo, good fullbacks. Edmonds, Green and Sarr. Eiting, Hogg, O'Brien. And Benza, did Bakuna really play up front? Christ. And Campbell, surely Campbell played down the middle, didn't he? SofaScore can be wrong. And there is, look at that. And Benza has taken that round the keeper. And I think that is Bakuna in the middle, actually, isn't it? Maybe he's playing up front. And just loses his balance before he can stick it home. Even if he miskicks that across the box, Bakuna's sticking it in, puts it in the side netting. So huge chance there. However, and that was given away by, I think it was Pipper. No, it's Toffolo, isn't it? And Darbo goes in and they just managed to, can you see the ball there? Squeezing towards the goal line. And they just managed to get it off the line at the last to Coventry. What that does to the table, not a lot, obviously. Point going on each. No goals, though. Huddersfield stay in 14th. They are 9 clear of the bottom 3 and 7 off the top 6. In terms of Coventry, they're 6 clear of the bottom 3 on a really, really good run. However, the fixtures opened out and maybe they could have Derby and Forest coming for them soon. So to the point that a Coventry fan made earlier in the chat, they need to try and keep them at arm's length for as long as is possible, don't they? Right, let's get your thoughts in the comments. I think Coventry will be more than happy with a point than Huddersfield. Yeah, I think looking at those pictures, quite possibly. Good win by Blackburn. Still think they'll end up top 10 considering they're quite disliked ownership. Yeah, they are sustainable now financially, aren't they? And they might have a big asset to sell in Armstrong at some point there. Where do I think Coventry and Huddersfield will finish this season? I wouldn't like to say, but I suspect that Huddersfield will finish higher. Did you hear that Wednesday have not paid their players? I did not hear that. Not good. Should square it? Well, I mean, you'd back any pro footballer to score from there. But with hindsight, yes, should square it, shouldn't he? Ben Sheaf is our worst player this season on loan from Arsenal. Interesting. Coventry impressing this season. Low as a Norwich fan, I can't wait to have McCallum back. Could have used him. I tell you. Birmingham destined for 17th spot. What is it? It's QPR, isn't it? Always end up 14th. Cheers, Ben. No one mess with Ben. There we go. I think we can put up with a few clowns trying to get meaning in their lives. However, I always think when you get up in the morning, you can put something positive into the world or you can put something negative. And believe me, I do have friends in WhatsApp groups and on Twitter, and I follow them. And I think, you're just moaning all day, moaning and whining. Put something positive into the world. There we go. Someone asked for the top scorers. We will do that in a second. Actually, let's do it right now. And then we'll just have a little look down the table. It's a real awesome chase for top scorers this season. 16th, was it, Noah? There you go. Tony on 16 already in 19 rounds. Armstrong on 15. Zhao on 11, injured. So is Moore on 8. Look out for Pookie on 10 as well, going great guns. I suspect all of those, well, I mean, it's not a great stretch to predict Tony's going to get 20, is he? He only needs 4 in the remaining, God, what is it? 27 games, doesn't he? So, yes, we suspect he will get there. Looking at the table, looking very cushy if you are a Norwich fan at the moment. They're, well, they appear to have the best squad, the most income, and a couple of the best players. And have they got the longest serving manager? No, I suppose Warren must be the longest service manager, mustn't he? But probably the second longest serving manager. Bournemouth in second, Watford, Swansea, Reading, Brentford in the playoffs, Borough, Stoke, Bristol City, Cardiff, Blackburn, Barnsley make up the top half, Luton, Huddersfield, Millwall, Preston, Birmingham, and then down in that sort of bottom 7, Coventry, QPR, Rotherham, Forest, Derby, Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday. Let's have a look here. Glad to see people have realised that pattern. Thought it was just me who saw. No, I predicted them there, and apparently it's some on-running joke with QPR fans. Think a lot of Tony's goals and penalties. Don't worry about Tony, Jay. Honestly, he's very, very good indeed. Ben, everyone has some bias to a certain extent. Preferences and experiences will always play a part in this. No one can be 100% unbiased. Yeah, I agree. I'm not claiming to be 100% unbiased. I've never said that. I said leave your bias at the door, and then some person has come in here and called me biased. So if what you've said is true, which I believe it is, that no one can be 100% unbiased, I reasonably asked this person what I said that makes me biased, and I'm afraid they were unable to answer. So I agree with you, Hooligan Giles. The issue with bias that I have is I feel that many football fans, sadly, not most of you lot, I have to say, are incapable of having a credible debate or conversation about football because their bias absolutely clouds everything in their head. Their team's either the best thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. So that's why I say that at the start. Of course, I understand that 100% unbiased is probably not a thing. That's why my catchphrase is not, please be 100% unbiased. My catchphrase is, leave your bias at the door. And unfortunately, people still want to accuse me of bias, which is quite comical because the thing I've found since I've been using that catchphrase is football fans can't actually process their own bias. And that is that most people, honestly, really, really care about one football team. And that's it. They watch the whole league, but they really only care about one thing. And honestly, that's the best thing about football, the emotion and the fun. Believe you me, it really, really is. And that's why fan channels are so successful. However, on my channel, I want to do something a bit different. And I want to have a balanced and reasoned conversation. And I'm afraid that is not possible if people are overtly biased, either towards their team, which is honestly the most prevalent example of bias. The next one is against their main rivals. And then there's weird bias that comes up as well. So there we go. There's a difference between being biased and not being 100% biased. And of course, there we go. And back to the football, of course. You're doing a fantastic job. You're being very professional. Thank you very much. I'm not biased. I just know SUFC are the world's greatest team. There we go. At least we can have some fun with it, can't we, hey? My bias is John Daddy Bodvarsson is not good enough for the Championship. He was 11 out of 10 on Tuesday night. Unbelievable performance. The bias skews the reality. Yeah, I'm interested in the reality, Josh, honestly. Tony's penalty while staring at Foster shows ridiculous confidence. Yeah, he's a very good player, Tony. Better than I thought he was going to be. Better than I thought. Right. Thank you, everybody. Sorry I got suckered in by the trolls today. All a bit of fun, isn't it? Maybe they'll learn something. The idea of debate is that you learn something, and you should be never should be scared of entering a debate and being shown not to know something, because as long as you hold your hands up and say, oh, good point, I'll bear that in mind going forward, then it's fine. I think so many people in the world, they're scared to be shown to not know something. And how is that a crime? Do you know what I mean? Just ask. And, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And move on and learn. And everybody wins, don't they? Deary me. Good roundup as always. Everyone's trying to get me off this rant now. James and Iain. Right, I'm now going to go over to Patreon and round that all up in about 5 minutes. So if you're on Patreon, you can see the abridged short precede version. If not, thank you everybody on here for watching. Always a good time here on the channel, even when the trolls do come and say hello. So with all of that being said, we say thank you one more time to Russ, who is our fan sponsor. Russ Peak, a fan and our friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. And normal plugs for Patreon, Super Chat, Teesprings, comment, subscribe, like, etc., blah, blah, blah. And for me, it's over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.